If you only look at the final score of 3-2, you will never understand what really happened at the Estadio Azteca that Sunday night. The score tells only a small part of the story. This game had everything you could imagine. England raced into a 2-goal lead in just 98 seconds. A player was sent off with a straight red card. Both benches became involved in a heated confrontation. 2 penalties were awarded after VAR reviews, and the match stretched far beyond normal time. One England player even needed oxygen after being carried off the field, while his teammates were still celebrating. Calling it a football match almost feels wrong. It was a dramatic battle where survival mattered just as much as skill. The drama actually started long before the referee blew the opening whistle. On the night before the match, England's players were staying at a hotel in Santa Fe, on the western side of Mexico City. Instead of getting a peaceful night's sleep before one of the biggest games of the tournament, they were met by dozens of Mexican supporters gathered outside. The fans brought loudspeakers, air horns, drums, and fireworks, creating non-stop noise deep into the night. Even police barriers failed to stop them. This was not simply a group of excited fans celebrating. Across parts of Latin American football, keeping the visiting team awake has become a long-standing tradition. What was once a way of supporting the home side has slowly turned into a tactic meant to wear down opponents before kickoff. Mexico had already used the same approach against Ecuador earlier in the tournament, and Ecuador's Football Federation had complained officially after losing 2-0. England manager Thomas Tuchel refused to make a big issue out of it. He calmly said his players could recover by sleeping later in the morning, because kickoff was scheduled for 6 p.m. Still, the message from the home supporters was loud and clear. England would receive no warm welcome. Then there was the stadium itself. The Estadio Azteca carries enormous history, especially for England. This was their first appearance there since the famous 1986 World Cup quarterfinal against Argentina. The game remembered forever because of Diego Maradona's Hand of God goal. That memory alone placed extra pressure on everyone wearing an England shirt. On top of that, the stadium sits around 7,350 feet above sea level, where the thin air makes running much harder for teams that are not used to the altitude. More than 80,000 passionate Mexican fans packed every seat, creating an atmosphere that never slowed down. Their chants echoed around the stadium without stopping. Before the game even began, heavy thunderstorms forced kickoff to be delayed by an hour. While everyone waited, the stadium DJ played music, and thousands of home supporters loudly booed every song. By the time the players finally walked onto the field, the atmosphere felt intense and intimidating. England knew they had to stay calm early in the game. Tuchel's plan was simple: reach the first hydration break without conceding a goal, because that was usually when players began adjusting to the altitude. Mexico attacked exactly as expected, moving the ball quickly and feeding off the incredible energy from the crowd. They nearly scored after 16 minutes when Raúl Jiménez connected with a cross using a diving header, but Jordan Pickford reacted brilliantly, diving low to push the ball away. That save settled England's nerves. Rather than rushing forward, they kept possession, slowed the pace, and refused to get dragged into the emotion of the occasion. The crowd grew frustrated every time England passed the ball patiently across the field, but that was exactly what Tuchel wanted. Once England settled into the match, everything changed in an instant. Jude Bellingham became the driving force behind one of the fastest momentum swings imaginable. In the 36th minute, Pickford started a quick attack by throwing the ball to Declan Rice. Rice carried it forward before finding Bukayo Saka on the right. Saka created just enough space to deliver a perfect cross, and Bellingham powered a header into the net. The England supporters had barely finished celebrating when their team struck again only 98 seconds later. Right after the restart, Harry Kane delivered a dangerous low cross, and Bellingham threw himself at the ball to score once more. Suddenly England led 2-0 in one of the loudest stadiums in world football. Mexico had not conceded a goal in 4 straight World Cup matches. Yet England had scored twice in less than 2 minutes. It looked like the game might already be finished. But the Azteca has a habit of producing unforgettable moments. Just before halftime, England failed to fully clear a Mexican free kick. The loose ball dropped perfectly for Julian Quiñones, who smashed a powerful shot into the back of the net. The stadium exploded with noise as Mexico cut the deficit to 2-1. In a matter of seconds, confidence returned to the home side while uncertainty crept into England's play. Bellingham even made a vital defensive clearance before halftime to stop another dangerous Mexican attack. Although England still held the lead, the mood as they walked into the dressing room was far from comfortable. Instead of feeling in control, they knew the hardest part of the night was still waiting for them. England actually started the second half positively and looked capable of restoring their 2-goal advantage. Nico O'Reilly pushed forward from left back and fired a powerful shot that crashed against the post. Had that effort gone in, the contest might have been over. Instead, the entire match turned upside down only minutes later. In the 54th minute, stand-in right-back Jarell Quansah, recently back from injury, launched into a reckless sliding tackle on Jesus Gallardo. His studs were high, and the challenge looked dangerous. The referee allowed play to continue at first, but VAR called him over to review the incident. After watching the replay, he had little choice but to show Quansah a straight red card. England were reduced to 10 men with more than half an hour still to play in exhausting conditions against the host nation. The dismissal sparked even more chaos. As Quansah slowly walked off the pitch, tempers exploded near the benches. Mexican coaches and substitutes angrily protested the tackle, while England's staff rushed in to defend their player. Reports suggested punches were thrown during the confrontation. England defender Reece James, who was not even playing because of injury, became involved in a fierce shouting match with members of the Mexican camp. While the players on the field tried to regroup after losing a teammate, the touchline turned into complete disorder. By the 55th minute, the match had transformed into something much bigger than football. Every challenge, every decision, and every emotion carried enormous weight, and everyone inside the stadium knew the unforgettable drama was far from over. Just when it looked like England's night could not become any more dramatic, they found another way to respond. Only 5 minutes after being reduced to 10 men, Anthony Gordon chased a loose ball inside the penalty area. He reached it just before Mexican goalkeeper Raul Rangel, who crashed into him and brought him down. The referee immediately pointed to the penalty spot. Despite the pressure from over 80,000 home fans and reports that beer had been thrown at him from the stands only moments earlier, Harry Kane stayed completely calm. He stepped up and confidently scored, giving England a 3-1 lead. It was his 6th goal of the tournament, and his 73rd goal for club and country that season. Even with one player less, England suddenly looked as if they had one foot in the quarterfinals. However, this game refused to follow a simple script. Kane had just become England's hero, but only minutes later he found himself at the center of another huge controversy. While defending a Mexican set piece, Kane tried to clear the ball without realizing substitute Brian Gutierrez was arriving behind him. Instead of making clean contact with the ball, Kane caught Gutierrez on the foot. The referee allowed play to continue, believing there was no foul. But once again, VAR stepped in and asked him to review the incident on the pitchside monitor. After watching the replay, the referee changed his mind and awarded Mexico a penalty. Raul Jimenez took responsibility from the spot. He showed no signs of pressure as he calmly fired the ball past Jordan Pickford to make it 3-2. The goal completely changed the mood inside the stadium. Mexico suddenly believed they could still pull off an incredible comeback, while England knew they faced a long and nervous finish with only 10 players on the field. The second penalty quickly became one of the biggest talking points of the entire tournament. Fans, players, and football experts were split over whether the referee had made the correct decision. Former England striker Alan Shearer strongly believed it should never have been given. He argued that Kane's contact was too small and did not qualify as a clear mistake that VAR should overturn. England manager Thomas Tuchel was equally frustrated after the match. He openly criticized the officials, saying the refereeing performance was simply not good enough. He even questioned whether the VAR team assigned to such an important game was the right choice. Not everyone agreed with those complaints. Former top referee Darren Can explained that Kane clearly clipped the attacker's foot and said the decision was fully supported by the rules. He also pointed out that England had received a very similar penalty earlier in the tournament under almost identical circumstances. Former goalkeeper Joe Hart reviewed every replay and agreed that the referee had made the correct calls throughout the match. That difference of opinion perfectly summed up the night. While England supporters were furious, many football fans around the world praised referee Ali Reza Fagani for staying calm, and making difficult decisions under enormous pressure. Some even suggested he deserved to officiate the World Cup final. At the same time, Tuchel wanted him nowhere near another England match. It was remarkable how one performance created such completely different reactions. The final minutes felt endless. England, now protecting a 1-goal lead with 10 men, switched to a defensive system with 5 defenders. Dan Burn and Jed Spence were introduced to strengthen the back line as Mexico threw everything forward. Cross after cross flew into England's penalty area, while more than 80,000 supporters roared their team on. Every clearance was celebrated like a goal. Every tackle mattered. When the fourth official showed 11 minutes of added time, England knew they still had a huge task ahead. The pressure increased even more as the referee allowed play to continue beyond those 11 minutes because of several late stoppages. At one point, John Stones nearly turned the ball into his own net while trying to clear a dangerous cross. Thankfully for England, it rolled just inches wide of the post. It was the kind of moment that could have broken their hearts. Fortunately for England, their defense stayed strong. Dan Burn won important headers, Jordan Pickford remained calm under pressure, and every player worked tirelessly to block shots and clear dangerous balls. Finally, after what felt like forever, the referee blew the final whistle. England had survived one of the toughest knockout matches they had played in years. They had overcome the altitude, the hostile crowd, the red card, the pressure, and the endless attacks to secure a famous victory. Even after the match ended, the drama was not over. During the emotional celebrations, Jordan Henderson accidentally fell over the advertising boards and seriously injured his wrist. He needed oxygen before being taken from the stadium on a stretcher and later transported to the hospital. Incredibly, England lost a player not because of a tackle during the game, but because of the celebrations after winning. It perfectly captured how unusual the entire evening had been. For England, this victory will be remembered as one of their greatest World Cup knockout wins in modern history. Jude Bellingham later described the atmosphere as the best he had ever experienced in international football, praising the incredible passion of the Mexican supporters. For Mexico, the defeat was heartbreaking. Playing at home, backed by more than 80,000 fans, enjoying the advantage of an extra player for much of the second half, they still fell short. The loss ended another dream of reaching the World Cup quarterfinals, something they have been chasing since 1986. England now moves on to face Norway in the quarterfinals, although Jarell Quansah will miss the match because of his suspension. After surviving one unforgettable night at the Azteca, England will hope their next challenge is far less chaotic.